I play with the Ravens. He play with the Browns. I could call him after. When I get home, I shoot him a text or call him.
LaJohntay, no! Two of my favorite former Colorado Buffaloes, Jay Fleazy, Jimmy Horn Jr., and Mr. LaJohntay Wester. They've had some ups and some downs and some lefts and rights in their first NFL career, but I do think that we have to all agree it's a blessing that they're on the team. And not only that they're on the team, but they seemingly are not just important parts of the team, but, they seem to get along very well with their new teammates, and they've been received very well by the media and things like that. So I think they see what we saw in Jimmy Horn and LaJohntay, right? These are hardworking people who love ball, they love the game, and also they pretty funny. They pretty hilarious. They're pretty infectious to be around. I think they're really stand-up people. We know the adversity that Jimmy Horn Jr. has gone through, and LaJohntay Wester has been a bit of a right-hand man, of course, a little bit of a safety blanket and on the field for Shedeur when they were playing in Colorado. So it's great to check in on them to see what they're doing. Now, I will point out, we're going to start with LaJohntay because I've made plenty of Jimmy Horn videos. I feel like I haven't made a LaJohntay video in forever. It's because he's only been doing punt return. Now, something very bad, everybody was focused on Shedeur's bad day. However, I do want to point out, sadly, LaJohntay did not have a good day against the Browns returning punts either. If y'all were there at my watch along, and no, I'm sorry, I know it's crazy. I told y'all I was gonna not be able to do the watch along the same day Shedeur was gonna be starting. I knew that was gonna happen, but I have some extremely important things to do Sunday. So I can't. I'll react afterwards, and of course, Shedeur stunts on these hoes. But when we were watching this in the stream, if you know, LaJohntay muffed the punt, and we were screaming in the chat like, LaJohntay, no, like not like that. Come on, LaJohntay. So it wasn't the best day for either of these two young men. Now, it's good and dandy to hate into whatever and say, hey, y'all did this, y'all did that. But off the football field, man, that's why y'all are so passionate. That's why we enjoy, LaJohntay, the Shedeurs, the Jimmies. It's not just about the football field. It's what's happening off the field. And I just want to play this video real quick, man. Oh, I guess it's reunited, and it feels so good, man. Reunited, and it feels so good. Shedeur Sanders had a really bad day at the office, right? And guess who's right there smiling in his face, all up in his grill? And I know Shedeur probably felt terrible. I mean, you can see it on his face. But I feel a little bit of him like, okay. I feel a little bit of him like, okay. I feel like he was almost about to crack a smile, but he had to hold it back. He said, man, what would you do? Get away from me, man. Get gone from me, man. Why you all up on me? Why you trying to make me smile and happy right now, man? Y'all cannot take me serious as possible. Y'all know I'm a Texas fan. I'm a Texans fan. But I'm a Shedeur fan. I'm a Colorado. Like, I know the Colorado fans, the CU aunties have adopted me into the fold, right? Because I complain enough about Arch anyway that I think I deserve to have a little bit of Colorado fandom. Yo, this makes me emotional. I gotta be honest with you. I gotta be really honest with you. Like, I was looking at this after that awful game, and I felt bad for Shedeur after that. Like, I felt really bad. Like, I think we can all agree on that. It wasn't a good day. But when I saw this, I was like, and I eventually I just saw the picture. I was like, I think everything's gonna be all right, man. I think everything is gonna be just okay when you see that sort of connection right there. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. Now, again, I don't want to point it out too much, but LaJohntay sadly had a muff. Now, some people were saying, because it was a windy day, and people don't want to point that out because, again, no excuses for Shedeur. But it was a windy day. He had to go. Oh my God! Like, I think he should have. LaJohntay, we gotta let some roll. We gotta let. Sometimes we just gotta let them roll, right? And the Browns get the ball at the 5-yard line. And we ain't gonna rub salt into any wounds, but they did not score a touchdown here, which was crazy. But that's the point. The point is that LaJohntay clearly was very happy to be reunited with his old running mate. Let's hear it.
Before the game, there was on the big screen a picture of you and Shador, saying that y'all went to college together. How do you balance, being happy for him making his NFL debut, you made a couple of plays, and then also cheering for your defense?
It's real easy. You feel me? It's real easy. I play with the Ravens. He played with the Browns. I could call him after. He trolling. But nah, I play with the Ravens. So when I have a Ravens uniform on, I'm all Raven. When I get home, I shoot him a text and call him and let him know how proud I am of him.
That means something. You know what I mean? Because like the world, the way this stuff works is, and the reason I'm not pointing out LaJohntay's muff because I want to point it out. Actually, I wish we could just bury it under the rug. That never happened. Don't worry. LaJohntay's fire. But the reason why I want to point it out is because this is what support is, right? I bet you I don't know what they said. I don't know, whatever, but I know he saw his former quarterback, looking a little down. I bet he went over there and said, "Hey man, thanks for covering up for that for that muff punt." Like this is brotherhood. This is what that means, right? He said, "Hey, look, I'm a Ravens jersey. I'm trying to make it happen. I'm trying to stay on this 53. I'm trying to elevate, maybe get some wide receiver goals as well." But I gotta be honest with you, man. Just hearing LaJohntay say that he's proud of that young man is great. I know we made a video earlier. I don't know when these videos are coming out. We talked about Dion being excited. We talked about Dion Jr. Bucky being excited. Like guys, I want y'all to know at the core of these young men, whether you think they're nepo babies, whether they think they're this, whether you think LaJohntay is even good at football, these are kids that are living a dream right now. These are our family members that are watching these dreams, watching what these young men have been talking about for a year. Hey, I'm going to be in the NFL. I bet LaJohntay was, hey, I'm going to be in the NFL. He's been telling everybody he could, hey, that's my goal. That's what I'm doing. From FAU to Colorado, now in the league, right? For Shador Sanders, from HBCU to Colorado to the league. From Travis, from HBCU to Colorado to the league, right? Jimmy Horn from USF, right, to Colorado to the league. This has been a journey to watch these young men go on and over anything, greater than anything, the thing that will stick with them whenever the football is over, whenever either they got a gold jacket or they picking up a mic because, commentating is really they back. Whatever happens, those years at Colorado are undisputed. That brotherhood is undeniable. You can see the way he lights up, right? And I wish they asked Shador some LaJohntay questions. That'd be fire. But man, oh man, change the narrative. Does great stuff on Twitter, right? If you're a Colorado fan, you make sure you go check him out, right? Fun fact, Shador Sanders and LaJohntay Wester met prior to Colorado due to Shador committing to the same college, FAU, right? And because, we ain't got to get into that. But so LaJohntay was going to go before Shador decided to commit to play for JSU. LaJohntay last year, he transferred to play with Shador. So this connection is this is deeper than rap, you feel me? Where this is somebody who they were supposed to go to the same college together regardless, and they end up coming to the same college together. And LaJohntay is, he's one of those dudes that just does the dirty work. One of my favorite quotes that is sticking with me, and I stole it from LaJohntay. I say it on this channel a lot is hey, you don't gotta be that guy to be that guy. And I think LaJohntay actually got it from Coach Prime, but it's something that he said it in his his combine interviews, and that's something that always sticks with me. You don't have to be that guy to be that guy. That is who LaJohntay is in every form of the word of that saying. Anyway, he's taken on being a punt returner and taken it as an art form, right? He's done everything to get on this 53-man roster. I want y'all to remember, we talking about Shador being a 5th-round pick. LaJohntay was a 6th-round pick. LaJohntay and Jimmy were 6th-round picks. They ain't even supposed to. They wasn't supposed to make the roster. I want y'all to know that. I want you to know after you get past that 3rd round, you real deal competing for something now. You real deal competing. So I hate to see him have a muff punt, but so far, right? We're gonna get into some of these stats right here. It's been slightly impressive, right? Shout out to Deontay. I think me and Deontay were arguing in that last live chat when we were watching. If he was doing kick return. They said they took him off kick return. I thought he didn't do any kick return. But here it is. He actually did. He's only had 4 attempts on kick return, total of 111 yards, 32 yards. So he was in fact doing some kickoff return. I knew he is the number one punt returner. So he won the punt return. He has 3 fair catches along with 35. He's got 12 attempts, 173 punt yards so far. So nothing remarkable, but at the end of the day, he was, he's still doing, I mean, he's a punt returner, right? You can only hope for consistency. You can only hope for not muffing punts, right? And again, he's a rookie. He's going to struggle and do some things like that. So just happy to see that he is strongly planted, so much so that, again, they're asking him for media and different stuff like that. So that's the only update we have. LaJohntay, he's still a great brother for Shedeur. Obviously still calling him, giving him support in the time that he needs it. And then, hopefully he can kind of get things going. He hasn't gotten any targets on the receiving end, which is kind of sucks, but it's flip-flop because we're about to go to Jimmy Horn. Jimmy Horn has got no burn when it comes to punt return or kick return, which I think is very interesting because I feel like that would be a really good spot for him to kind of grow. But he's been a receiver. So, it's pick your poison. Either you don't get receiving, what's it called? You don't get receiving reps, or you do get receiving reps. But as we know with Jimmy Horn, he kind of had to he had to work his way to get into the active roster. I think for the first 4 weeks, he wasn't even on the active roster, right? Forget getting targets, right? He just was a healthy scratch. They wouldn't put him on the field. And it seemed like as soon as he got on the field, he was making immediate things happen. I do want to speak about, before we get into some of the stats and facts, you got to understand how Jimmy Horn is being used and understand what the offense thinks that they have in him for them to do that, right? Jimmy Horn Jr. has been used for a lot of end arounds. Now they've handed those end arounds off, and they faked those end arounds a lot. But what I want you to know is Jimmy Horn Jr.'s speed, his twitch, his athleticism is being used to threaten defenses and to stretch defenses. In fact, I believe there was a T-Mac touchdown in this last game against the Patriots where they did that same action. Hey, bring Jimmy Horn Jr. across the formation. We're gonna fake it to him. It's gonna hopefully widen out the defenders, widen out the safeties because they're anticipating an end around, and it hopefully opens up a space for Tedderell McMillan. So as much as the stats probably don't look great, they don't fully exemplify what Jimmy Horn Jr. is being used at, and that's as a weapon in a lot of different ways. He's being used as eye candy. He's being used obviously in the run game, getting those end arounds, and then of course the big 4th down catches. He's got a big 32-yard gain as well on his jacket as well. So it's been a lot of positivity going around. So let's take a peek here. Just double check. Yeah, he has no stats for special teams. I just wanted to confirm that because someone in the chat kind of brought it up. But yeah, to confirm, he has no stats for special teams. I think that could be a good place for him to use him. Now, I don't want to bring this up too, but Jimmy Horn also had a fumble on the end around. Some people argued it was the handoff. Some people argued other things. But regardless, we ain't got to talk about that at this instance. We can talk about, though, the fact that Jimmy Horn came into this season with certain expectations, right? So let's hear that.
Like for my own field goals, like when I catch my first NFL pass, I want to stat from there and get a minimum of 250 yards. You know what I'm saying? But just to start off, 0 drops and then perfect the route tree.
Okay.
And score my first NFL touchdown. And make sure I'm in that depth, the rotation. And then for the return goals, lock my role in as a punt return or a kick return 1. Take at least 1 return to the crib. And then I'm trying to be at least top 5 for return average. And no fumbles on the return. And then for mentally, I just want to be prepared for whatever come my way.
Yeah.
I like that.
So those were the top of the league expectations. Now, I will say for the 250 yards, he's projected right now to, I think, get like 110 yards. Is it? Yeah. So he's projected right now. He's got 6 receptions on 10 targets for 66 yards. I argue that he's not being utilized enough, but hey, I don't know nothing about nothing. Maybe they've got another plan. I do think they do utilize him though. Sorry, my eyelash is like jumping in my eye. So right now he's not projected to hit his 250 goal, and clearly he's not a punt returner just yet. But I got to be honest with you. I think Jimmy Horn is doing more than anybody expected because, again, that's why I wanted to put that out. It's not just that he's getting and making the most of his targets, right? He's got 10 targets, 6 receptions, 66 yards, 11 average, right? He's got one of the longer He's top, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top 5 in longest yards, right? I think he's top 10 in average amongst the receivers, and that's not even playing all the games, right? He only has 7 games played as opposed to the total 11 games. So he hasn't even played all the games. He is a part of the rotation. I really do think it's only going to take one big game where he gets just 3. He just needs 3 targets. I'm telling you, he just needs, the way that he's averaging right now, he can shoot that average up to 20 or so, get a few big plays, another 30-yard play, a few 50-yard games, and you're on your way to 250, right? So projected, it's not looking great, right? Punt return, he's not there. But I think that it can't be understated or overstated the fact that Jimmy Horn, just like LaJohntay, has become a staple in staple, a part of what the Carolina Panthers want to do. You know what I'm saying? The cameras love them some Jimmy Horn Jr., man. The media love Jimmy Horn. This is my favorite. Forget about the 32-yard reception. Forget about that amazing 4th down conversion. Bryce Young put it on him, big 4th down. That was amazing. I gotta be honest with you. This is my favorite moment for Jimmy Horn this year. Let's hear it.
Working on learning the plays better and all that. So just stand down for real. It helps.
It seems like your teammates are excited for you to get this opportunity finally. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I feel it. They happy for me. They ready to see me get out.
Is there any pressure that comes with that?
Nah, I apply pressure. I don't let pressure apply me.
That's a good line. Where'd you get that?
It just come off my dome.
It just come off my dome. He's dead serious too. He ain't playing. He not joking. He said, I don't know why y'all laughing. It's Jay Fleazy. It's right off the dome. That's my favorite moment of Jimmy Horn so far. Not the 4th down conversion, not the big 32-yard, not all that phenomenal thing that he did as well. And again, returning, he just hasn't been there returning. Shout out C. Anderson. I believe the group of rookies are blessed to have a support system. Young brothers need an older generation to cover them. That's very, very well said. We're not going to get into too much copyright or stuff like that, but just know, it seems that, and these are the Panthers fans, right? We just talked about how the fact that the Panthers love him, the Panthers media loves him, all those people, they love talking about him, but his teammates love him. And the fan base loves him too, because here is everybody pointing out the fact that Jimmy Horn Jr. is wide open for a touchdown, but they went with T-Mac instead, right? And let me make sure we find Jimmy Horn. So Jimmy Horn, again, this is what I'm telling y'all. So I'm gonna show y'all 2 things. I'm gonna show you Jimmy Horn being open, but I'm gonna show you an example of this should tell you what the Panthers think of Jimmy Horn and what NFL players think of Jimmy Horn, right? So if you ever see somebody go across the formation, right? And I forgot what defensive coordinator said. They said, hey, Aaron Glenn. If you go back and look at Hard Knocks, Aaron Glenn, he's like, hey, whenever the offense does this, they want the defense to flow, right? Now, oftentimes you use it to check to see if it's man, right? If someone's going to follow him across the formation, it's man. If they bump over, it's zone. Regardless, you're trying to get a tendency on that, or at the very least, influence and widen out some players, right? So what you see right off the bat is what? You see this overhang defender, these linebackers, this player, they start kind of cheating over. And guess who else is cheating over? Look what just happened. Look at this safety at the center of the field. That's the biggest change. He's going to match the numbers on the other side. He just kind of bumps in to help support. The linebackers just kind of bump over to help numbers. This safety goes from he was cheating over here. He probably had Jimmy Horn. Or this zone right here. But instead, because Jimmy Horn pushes this way, he goes to a center field safety. Look at where he is now. This leaves Tedero McMillan, T-Mac on a one-on-one. This is what I meant by this is the threat that Jimmy Horn Jr. possesses. This is the threat that Jimmy Horn Jr. creates, where he don't even got to get the ball. Just him moving across this formation has just changed the dynamics of this matchup completely. So I'm not mad at Bryce Young for looking here and going back at T-Mac. Also, T-Mac's got great leverage here. Again, when we talked about with the whole with Jerry Jeudy route, hey, your hips are turned here, so T-Mac is gonna attack this blind spot attack where It's the hardest for him to recover here. Jimmy Horn was right here. He does have some separation, but at the end of the day, I mean, in the red zone, you got to throw it up to the 6'5" dude. And Bryce Young's a little late on that throw, too. But it is what it is. But Jimmy Horn Jr. is going to be a real deal threat. LaJohntay Wester is going to continue growing. I'm just happy both of these young men continue to get roster spots. I'm happy that they keep growing, matriculating, maturing. And then even more important, clearly their teams found a place and really do enjoy what they do. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about this whole situation down below in the comment. Like this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't. Subscribe if you like football content of all shapes, sizes, forms, and fashions. Y'all be great. We'll see you next time. Peace.